Right, so today I came off the tube in Stratford. Well, I was visiting, going round, as I do, and I noticed something, well, it's not something that I noticed, more something that I've observed from outside. As you can see, the scene is different. And I said I do another video, so this is another one. And it's about things that people do on the tube. Like, if you're to go on a tube in the morning, on a Monday morning, go to work, and you're to look at the faces people pull, their faces of anxiety, or it's as if they're perpetually scared of whoever's next to them. Say, what are you, this face, or I don't know, whatever, looking all sad, stolid, and that sort of thing. And no one speaks. At all. No one speaks. You can go on a tube ride or a train ride in the morning or evening, no one will say a word. What is this thing with the English about keeping to yourself, privacy, even on the tube? Like, if you have people who are going with their friend or partner or whatever onto a tube ride or train ride from A to B, let's say from Holborn to Northolt, right? They won't say anything to it. They probably won't say anything to each other. I don't know why. It's an interesting observation, if anything, actually. I find that the more central you go, the further into the city you go, you observe more of these odd actions, which are peculiarly unique to the English. Peculiarly unique. Another one is to when something bad happens or there's a delay of some sort, to have a sigh, people sigh a lot when delays come up. It's internal moaning in a sense, really, for that. I mean, some will say it's better than the physical equivalent to go and fight somebody, but why moan? I'll drive instead. But anyway, yeah, that's another thing I've observed. When there are delays, or something which could have been prevented stops the train from going, people will moan, or mutter, or mumble to themselves. Really odd. Well, not odd if you're English, or if you're in England. I find that sometimes, on occasion, you have another person next to you go, oh, typical. They'll say typical, as if that's expected. They don't expect that much. They have low expectations. They assume the transport system will let them down, and when it happens, they're proved right. Like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And so that's when typical is expelled out of their mouth, as if it's forcing its way out of their body, like a confession. So another thing I've noticed on trains is, say if you notice a couple or two, how very occasionally or how uncommon it is for them to show public displays of affection. Say if a lady was to move her body closer to her partner, or a man or a woman or whoever it is, how many furtive eyes will be glanced towards them as if it's some taboo, as if it's unusual. This is this thing where people keep to themselves so much that doing anything to the contrary is just unheard of. It's looked at as stupid, or, well, looked at as stupid inside. I want to tell you, to be honest. Yeah, that's another thing, actually. Because of this whole implicit rule of silence is golden, and how it's treated as a good thing to respect another's privacy. If somebody doesn't like something, and you're on a train ride, they wouldn't tell you. Say, for example, if you dropped your bracelet, or if you had fallen down while the train was moving and it had just stopped suddenly and you jerked too far forward and your foot had just slipped off the ground and you fell. A few people would help you. I was on a train one time and, I was going on my way to university, I saw a lady had passed out. I watched right before my eyes. It was at King's Cross. The doors had just opened. She passed out. It was winter. I'm just not sure how that's relevant, but just to tell you, get a flavour of things. And yeah, she passed out, and nobody helped her. Nobody had done anything until one man had emerged from the far end of the carriage to say, "Are you all right?" Got her up, given her some water, rung the emergency bell, alarm, whatever, and then the driver sped like a bolt to her help, to her aid. And everybody else who needed to get off just got off without doing anything. I stood there and I watched this. I watched these reactions. I thought, is this a bystander reaction, or is it something just endemic to English people? I don't know, and such an odd case. Really can't tell. Another thing that I've noticed is that if you're on a train and, well, like many people, you don't know the right exit to take to make a change or the right way to get out, because people want to get out as quick as possible, remember that, then you'll find that no one will give you, like, a helping hand or two. It's as if you go on a train and the only one they'll think about, they being, well, typically English people, is themselves. But as in their own body, not theirs or their partners or the needs and wants of the close associates, just themselves. Everyone keeps themselves. Everyone's squashed up all anxious, and it's as if they're agoraphobic. They don't like open spaces, and the carriage sometimes, in fact, very often the carriage is empty. So you just have a few people in one train at any time, unless it's the morning or the end of the rush hour, which is 5 o'clock onwards. And it's just something that I know. I just wanted to go and say, because I don't know. There are some things which can't be explained. Many authors and writers, Jane Paxman, Kate Fox, whoever, have written about it, talked about it at length, infinitely more than I can, and still haven't come up to a reason why these things happen. Why? How did the English become like this? I see it. I see these things on a daily basis. Well, not even just on the tube, but in other environments I go to. And how did they get there? How did this reservation of emotion and whatever come to pass? How did it come to be? I don't know. Can't explain it. Just a social phenomenon, and I'm sure it's similar in other countries, but here it's just something that's common, but nobody asks why or knows the answer. If somebody knows the answer, well, they're welcome to share it, to be honest. But I'll keep going, living, wondering how this came to pass, and as long as I don't know, I'll be going on tube rides and observing people be quiet, keep to themselves.